and welcome to the January 2024 Education Updates. As usual, I'd like to start us off with some quotes. I got the first one here by Florence Nightingale, the OG. She said, "Let us never consider ourselves finished nurses. We must be learning all of our lives." Very consistent with what we do with education, right? We strive to be better nurses, better practitioners, and we push the boundaries of evidence-based practice. I also wanted to include one for our EMTs and EMS. I don't want them to feel left out. All these quotes do apply to EMTs and nurses, but I wanted to have something special out there for them. And I found don't practice until you get it right. Practice until you can get it wrong. This applies to both EMTs, nurses, paramedics. We always want to train. We want to train. That's why we do all these simulations. We do all these skills days and all that stuff, all those offerings, just so we can get our hands on things that we don't do very often to get it right. So that way, in the moment when we do need to react quickly, we don't have to worry that we might get it wrong. For our new staff for the month of December, we did not have any new hires at Broomfield. We did have a few at Longspeak. We welcomed Tasha Rayner. She's one of our PRN EMTs. We also welcomed Taryn. She's a full-time paramedic starting at 0900 shift. And Rachel Roberts is a PRN EMT as well. Some housekeeping things. This is something new that I'm doing for our slides. Instead of having a slide for each of these bullet points, I'm going to have one slide and just do some housekeeping things. So our next LPH Advanced Skills Day is on January 23rd from 07:30 to 13:30. Sign up is in ULearn and that's live, so please navigate there to go ahead and sign up. If you're looking at this PowerPoint through the PowerPoint viewer, you can click on these links right here and they'll take you to all these places. BFH Next Skills Lab is currently being planned. I'm discussing this with Laura, and it's going to likely occur in April. We have our LPH BFH Preceptor Committee. Our next meeting is on the 19th of January from 0800 to 0900. There's a new invite that was sent out. Please look for that invite. If you are either a preceptor or interested in being a preceptor and you haven't received an invite, please let me know and I'll make sure you're on the list and get you that invite. We are going to start something new where we're going to have an in-person option alternating between BFH and LPH. The one in January is going to be at BFH in the Porter Room. The ones at LPH starting in February are going to be at the LPMC third floor conference room. CPI Advanced, if you still need to take the scores, this is mandatory for all ED staff, clinical staff, that includes nurses, EMTs, and paramedics. Go to ULearn and look for the advanced option. You can click this link here, or you can just search for CPI Advanced, or I believe it's Advanced CPI, the way you have to type it in. There's the annual competency assessment tool. We've been communicating that for the most of the fiscal year. Please use that to go through your education throughout the year, check things off as you go through it to make sure that you are staying consistent with everything that needs to be done by the end of the fiscal year. This tool is something that you're also going to be presenting during career conversations to show proof of work for your education. These links right here are live and they'll take you to the document for BFH and the document for LPH. And then finally, if you are looking for any education offerings, we have the calendar on Teams. I try to keep that updated as soon as I find out there are any offerings. So, and those links right there should work. So if you find something in that calendar that piques your interest and you want to attend one of those, just click on them and register. It should take you straight to the registration page. And then if you have any questions about any of these things, there's my email. Let me know. So simulations, our next simulation of BFH is, this date is wrong, I apologize. It's January 18th, not 8th. And then the next one, and then LPH is going to be February 13th, 2024. Actually, both of these dates are wrong. I apologize. January 18th and February 12th. This day had to change. We had some conflicting calendar issues. And the final offering for SIM for the fiscal year, as these are both tentative dates, April 19th for BFH and May 13th for LPH. For BFH and LPH in January and February, go to ULearn and sign up there. Just search for BFH ED simulation or LPH ED simulation. Virtual deterioration pathway. This is something that is LPH only. This already exists in an inpatient format, but we're going to be bringing it to the ED as well, mainly for our boarded patients. There's going to be a lot more information coming out on this. The go live is on January 9th. I'm going to be formulating an email with all the information that you guys will need on this, but this actually really paints a picture of what is expected, especially this timeline here. So if you can pause and read through his timeline, you might have to zoom in, and also this S bar. This will give you everything that you need to know about the upcoming changes with ED deterioration, virtual deterioration. Another thing that's coming at LPH only is GIP Hospice. We are partnering with an outside company for hospice care. This should have minimal impact on the ED. The projected go live for this is January 30th. There's going to be more information coming out on that, how that works. Very simple. The patient gets discharged and goes into hospice care, and there are a few things that we need to do in Epic, but this is very rare. The only case that I can foresee this occurring for the ED is when we have boarded patients that require hospice care or transition to hospice care. And then one thing that started yesterday on the 1st of January is the new M forms. We are using these now. This is what they look like for the most part. Same forms, they just look different, same information. So up here, this is very small, but you might be able to zoom in, or you just look on your unit. You should have these out there. This is the M1 form, and this is the new M2 form. The M2 form, if you're not familiar, is the patient rights. This has a lot more detail in it now. Previously, these bullet points were very vague and really left open to interpretation. Now they really dictate and state what it means for a patient to have the right to a cell phone, have the right to their clothing. There are a lot of caveats with that. So it really paints a lot more of a picture. There's also the M.5 that you might be familiar with, which is the transport, and then a new M1.5, which is a checklist. Look at on your unit, and you should be able to find these forms. And these are the forms that we are using from here on out. Some education offerings coming up. There isn't a lot. I'm assuming it's because of the new year. So if there's more stuff coming up, I'll let you know. But in the meantime, this is all I've been able to find for January. We have our CPI Advance on January 9th. I think this might be a waitlisted course already. So if you haven't signed up, you might have to look for a future course. This one is specific to LPH, so or occurring LPH. But so if you're willing to go to Anschutz, you might be able to find more offerings in January there. We also have our Advanced Skills Day from 07:30 to 13:30 on the 23rd of January. If you haven't signed up yet, this is the third offering. We will have one more, and that's it for the fiscal year. So please make sure you signed up if you have not attended this yet. And then I will be sending out an OB emergency sway with some new information on it. There's going to be an attestation attached to that sway, so please make sure at the end of it, click that you've read the sway and you've acknowledged that you've seen the new information in there, particularly about Doppler and trauma care and stuff like that. And then that's it for education offerings. Some of the things that we are working on in the background, this hasn't changed much. These things are really big projects that are happening in the background. We are making really good progress on it, streamlining e-default education across the system. We are finalizing our storyboard for that ULearn, so that should hopefully come out soon to you guys. And we're also streamlining the OB emergency education across the system via ULearn as well. We finalized our hypertension part of our ULearn. We are working on the hemorrhage part of that ULearn now, so hopefully that comes out soon. Streamlining ESI education across the system, still on pause. We're looking into when we can resume that and how we're going to resume it. And then I am also partnering with Jeff, our MSPCU educator, in revamping the mock code champion program. So if you are interested in becoming a mock code champion, very very easy thing to do. There's very small requirements for that. You just have to do a mock code once a quarter, so mock codes in a year, so it's not too bad. If you're interested in doing that, let me know. It's a great annual goal for you guys if you want to do something easy. And then a new thing that's going to be coming up in the next few months, we're going to be talking a lot more about this, is delirium screening in the ED. This is an LPH only thing, does not apply to BFH, and this will be a pilot program. And that's it. As always, any education requests, please let me know if you have any. Please make sure that they are specific. It's really hard to do any education if it's very broad. Might not cover everything that you might be asking for. And other than that, I will see you guys next month.